All right, let's get right into it today. We're going deep, deep, deep on defense.
Deep on defense.
Yeah, man. Specifically, we're talking about the defensive genius, Floyd Mayweather.
Ah, Floyd Mayweather. Now that's a name that gets boxing fans fired up.
And, we've got some killer fight analysis that we're going to break down.
Sounds good.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
This isn't just for the hardcore boxing fans. This is about strategy. It's about timing. It's about outsmarting your opponent.
Sounds like it could apply to a lot more than just boxing then.
Absolutely. This is stuff that applies way beyond the ring. We're going to be talking about things that can help you in business, in relationships,
Awesome.
in life. But before we break down Mayweather's slick moves, we got to lay some groundwork here.
Okay, sounds good.
What even makes for great boxing defense?
You know, a lot of people think defense is just about blocking punches.
Right. Just like cover up and get hit less.
Right, just like stand there and take it. But it's so much more than that. Real boxing defense. It's about controlling the fight.
Controlling the fight.
Yeah. You're dictating the pace.
Oh, okay.
You're frustrating your opponent.
So you're not just standing there. You're actually dictating the pace of the entire fight.
Exactly. And then, bam, you create those split-second openings to turn the tables. You're proactive.
Yeah.
You're strategic. And, that's where Mayweather truly shines.
That's what makes him so special. All right, so let's get into Mayweather's toolbox then.
Let's do it.
One thing that our source keeps highlighting is his jab.
The jab. Essential.
But it's not just about scoring points, right?
No, not at all. I mean, sure, landing jabs can win you rounds on the scorecards, but for a fighter like Mayweather, it's much more than that.
What is it about then?
It's about disrupting the opponent's rhythm. Think about it.
Yeah.
Imagine constantly being poked in the face.
I don't think I'd like that very much.
No one does. It's distracting, throws you off balance. Suddenly you can't set up your own attacks. It's like this subtle psychological warfare.
That's fascinating. And then, of course, there's the iconic shoulder roll. It's like he's almost dancing around those punches.
It is like a dance, but a very strategic one, let me tell you.
Right.
The shoulder roll, it's brilliant.
Why?
Well, it deflects force, right?
Okay.
But it keeps him close enough to counter. You rarely see Mayweather taking a clean shot because he's always rolling.
He's literally rolling with the punches.
Literally rolling with the punches. It's amazing to watch.
So our source also mentions how effortlessly he reads his opponent's movements.
Oh, yeah, that's another key part of Mayweather's genius.
So is that just natural talent?
Well, there's definitely some natural talent there. You can't teach that kind of instinct.
Yeah.
But it's also skill honed over years and years and years of training. It all comes down to footwork. Think positioning. Think anticipation. Think creating angles of attack. Mayweather's footwork. It's like watching a chess game unfold in the ring.
Really? A chess game?
Absolutely. He's always 2 steps ahead. Always thinking, always anticipating his opponent's next move. And he's always in the perfect spot to strike back.
So he's not just reacting, he's predicting.
Exactly. He's not just waiting for his opponent to make a move. He's already figuring out what that move's going to be, and he's already positioning himself to take advantage.
That's incredible. So this is where it gets really, really interesting. Our source talks about Mayweather luring opponents into traps. It's almost like he wants them to throw punches.
Oh, absolutely. This is the outsmarting element we were talking about earlier. He makes you think you've got an opening.
Right.
He makes you feel like this is your chance.
This is my shot.
Yes. So you commit to that punch, and bam, he's already out of the way, ready to counter.
Wow.
It's a mental game as much as it is physical.
And even when he's off balance, the source points out how accurate his counterpunches are. I mean, how is that even possible?
In precision counterpunching, it is incredibly difficult.
Oh, I bet.
We're talking years of training. We're talking perfect timing. We're talking understanding your opponent's weaknesses. One of Mayweather's most famous counters is that check hook. Now, for those who aren't boxing experts.
Yeah, explain it to me. I'm not a boxing expert.
It's basically a short, powerful hook thrown with the lead hand.
Okay.
It's often used as a counter when the opponent is coming forward. He uses it to punish opponents who overextend, especially those southpaw fighters.
Wow.
Yeah. So you see, it's not just one magic trick.
Right. It's not just one thing.
It's the whole package.
It's everything coming together.
The jab, the shoulder roll.
Right. The footwork.
The trap setting, the precision, it's the synergy of all these elements that makes Mayweather's defense so formidable.
And he turns defense into offense.
Exactly, and that's what makes him a true boxing genius.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how this defensive mastery directly contributed to his undefeated record.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And unrepeated.
He turned defense into an art form, It was practically impossible for opponents to land a clean shot. Remember that fight against Manny Pacquiao?
Oh, yeah. Classic fight.
Classic. Mayweather's jab was relentless. Every time Pacquiao tried to close the distance, bam! That jab snapped his head back, totally messing up his rhythm.
That's what makes him so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, what a masterclass on defense.
Yeah.
So, we've seen how defense can actually be a form of offense. We've seen how Mayweather uses these techniques to control the fight. We've seen how much of this is a mental game.
And it makes you think, doesn't it?
About what?
Well, how could you apply these principles in your own life?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Think about negotiations. Think about arguments. Even just everyday interactions.
Oh, I see.
How can you be more strategic?
Okay.
How can you anticipate what's coming next?
Okay.
And how can you maybe turn a defensive position into an advantage?
Wow. Food for thought, everyone. Food for thought. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the mind of Floyd Mayweather. Until next time.
See you next time.